So welcome back, guys. This is my second series for this weekly Q&A. I do this every Sunday. I usually have about 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. India time. I typically try to answer all your queries. That's my chair, if you're wondering. That's a funny noise it makes. I try to answer all your queries. It could be, on your fitness, diet, supplementation, and what you typically have to do is you have to go to hashtag Ask Tarun Gill on Twitter, and I will answer all your queries. So if you have any questions, go to Twitter right now and post your queries. Let me just pull up my first query, which has come to me from Mohit. So let's get this ball rolling, guys. So Mohit is asking me, saying, for skinny, fat body type people, what workout strategy would you recommend? Goal is to gain muscle mass and lose belly fat. So for skinny people, it's called typically skinny fat, Mohit. To get rid of skinny fat, you have to do much because you're blessed with or rather fast metabolism. But most of the skinny guys have one issue. Issue is around their belly fat. What you typically have to do is first you have to start eating. But first also you need to understand your goal is to gain muscle mass and lose belly fat. Make up your mind, Mohit, make up your mind, buddy. What exactly do you want to do first? I believe, and I could be wrong here, but as per my research, as per, me training different people, I've come to realize that, it's very important for you to identify your goal. It could be either weight gain or muscle gain or weight loss. You can't do both, unless you're a pro fitness athlete or a bodybuilder who pretty much knows his body type. But you have to make up your mind. If your goal is to pack on muscle, what you typically need to do is you need to start adding more carbs in your diet. As an ectomorph, which is a skinny type, it's your body type, you can get away with food, and because your metabolism is so fast, you can easily absorb more food. Don't be fixated on protein, taking too much of protein. You as an ectomorph need to pack on carbs. But your pre-workout carbs have to be good. Post-workout carbs along with some protein. You got to take at least 4 to 5 days of carbs, Mohit. So I hope this answers your question. Then I'm gonna. Oh, he's got another one saying, is it true that body strains itself while processing casein protein powder as it is thick, slow digesting protein? First, understand protein is milk protein. For aesthetic gains, though a lot of people have beaten me around it, but a lot of people have agreed to it also because there's so much of adulteration around it. So what you typically have to do is, because your body gets into this whole catabolic state when you sleep, so casein protein helps you prevent that muscle breakdown. So the ideal time for you to take casein is in the night. So that's how it processes. Then Harman Stran is asking me, saying, sir, I follow your diet, which is mentioned on your site. What should I do for week I follow, for other weeks? So Harman, I will be releasing my free ebook probably another 3-4 days, on my site. It's more of a 4-week plan. It's called 4 weeks, all you need, which will give you a training plan, a diet plan, everything that you wanted to know. So you should get some answers there. I will also upload the same on my site as well. Then another question from Shubham Joshi. He says, hi Tarun, do creatine gives water weight on pure muscle mass? Is it good for bulking, or which brand of creatine should I prefer? Yes, creatine will give you water weight. It's a miracle supplement. It will add a lot of strength to your gain, to your goal. If your goal is to pack on muscles, remember one thing, you have to know this. Whenever you want to pack on muscle or new muscle mass, you will get some water retention. And whenever you want to lose body fat, you will lose some bit of muscle too. So that's a trade-off. That is something that you have to kind of get used to it. As far as creatine goes, creatine is a volumizer. It will add stress. It will, if you're doing 8 reps or 9 reps for one particular exercise, it will help you do probably 12 repetition and 13 repetition with ease. It will add a lot of water weight on your body depending on your body type, whichever body type. Like as an endomorph, need gain a lot of water weight with creatine. Yes, it is ideal for bulking. You should not take it in cutting, because most of these creatine, you'll have it in your, that's my WhatsApp. Most of the creatine you'll also find in your pre-workouts. Which brand of creatine should I prefer? I think all creatine brands are the same. You can also obviously go for the Indian one also, but pretty much all creatine brands are the same. Just ensure that it's creatine monohydrate micronized. That's about it. So that is something that you should pick up. Ajit is asking me, what is the best way to measure body fat percentage? So the best way to measure body fat percentage is to get a caliper. caliper is available at Amazon, any of the e-commerce websites. You can get it for about 600 rupees. But that's not going to be accurate. That's going to be about 60 to 70% accuracy. But if you want better accuracy, probably what you may want to do is you go for a DEXA scan. DEXA scan is available in one of the hospitals. It will cost you, I think, between 2 to 5 grand. It'll give you your true body mass. It'll give you how much body fat you have, how much water weight you have. This is something that's high level. A lot of fitness models and bodybuilders typically do that, to get into the competition shapes. Now then comes question from Aftab. He says that in Indian gym, everybody recommends taking body massage once a month. This is not the case here in Dubai. What is your opinion? Aftab, which gym do you go to, buddy? I never came across a gym in India which asked me for a body massage. But hey, it's one of those selling tactics for these gym guys. Just ignore. Body massage is good to kind of have any spasm that you have in your muscle to kind of relax it. But it's not necessary if you really have the money or time. You can do it. You can also do like a regular typical massage, which is going to be of help to you. But yes, if you are stiff, if you feel that you can't perform in your exercises or workouts, then typically you may want to invest in a good massage. And when I say massage, you just get a good masseuse, probably who can just release all your spasms. Hemant is asking me, hey Tarun, please suggest me a good fat burner for a month, and does these burners affect your liver? Also tell me about Black Mamba. Okay, a good fat burner. First of all, I've done a different video on fat burners. You got to refer it. You got to check it out for yourself on my channel, YouTube, Tarun Gill Fitness. As far as your question, good fat burner. Just remember, you got to have a fat burner which is minimal on caffeine and maximum on other blended proprietary items, which includes your green tea extract, your L-carnitine, and so on and so forth. Because every fat burner will have their own set of blended guys. So what you typically have to do now is, as far as Black Mamba goes, Black Mamba has ephedra. Ephedra was, again, a herb which was is still banned across the globe, which I would suggest stay away from because it has caused a lot of seizure. It is because of ephedra that fat burners have gotten a bad reputation. So my recommendation to you is stay away from Black Mamba. But yes, they don't affect your liver, but that's why it's always say, fat burners typically affect your heart, because they increase your heart rate. The higher the amount of caffeine the higher the heart rate goes, and the higher the heart rate goes, the more prone you are to get a seizure or a heart attack. So that's why it's important for you to invest in a good mild fat burner. As far as my recommendation to you for a mild fat burner, there are many in the market. Probably you can go with Animal Cuts Universal. I think that's pretty good. But it has a lot of pills. So if you have a pill phobia, you may have to get over that. Then I've started a women series channel too, so I've got a women question asking me. Gayatri Rai is asking me, thank you for your YouTube channel. Bigger thank you for addressing women issues. You're welcome, Gayatri. Shrez says, what do you think about Shreds supplement scan? I think Shreds is something. It's a huge organization, and Arvind Lal has done wonders as far as creating this brand goes. I have huge respect for the guy. But whatever Physique did, Devin Physique is a guy who created this scam because he was selling a lot of online plans with the help of his assistant, and that got busted. And he was Arvind Lal fired him online, and so on. So the scam going on there, and Devin Physique saying that everybody, most of the people in the fitness industry, especially fitness models, Photoshop their images, which is true. I mean, I've always been telling you that, everything is Adobe, it's called Adobe Photoshop. Whatever you see, very few people do touch-ups, but there are many people who actually change the look and feel of the image, guys. You got to see it. It's out there for you. So I'm not surprised. But, as Shreds as a brand, I think they're just going through this rough patch. I'm sure they're going to come around. So that's my take on Shreds as a brand. Then this question comes from Viber. He says, in your recent video, touch and maximum overload training, can you do more in depth on the same with keto diet and evening workout? Yes, I will do that. But remember my 4-week plan that I'm about to release. It'll cover pretty much everything. So I got some more question going. Abhinash saying, I'm following your weight loss plan, but I can't lift heavy. Is there any supplement to improve my strength? I want to lift heavy. Guys, remember, if you want to lift heavy, you got to eat heavy. You can't just be relying on supplements. I always talk about this. You can't just be like, okay, and there's a miracle supplement out there in the market. You'll take that supplement, and that supplement will give you this, will give you that strength overnight. It doesn't work like that. You gotta eat. You gotta eat clean, and you gotta eat heavy. So if you really want to increase your strength, I would highly recommend you to start having pre-workout carbs. It could be boiled potatoes. It could be boiled rice. That will give you strength. And don't rely too much on supplements. Uh, for a weight loss plan also, if you're following a weight loss plan, if you cut out carbs, how are you going to have strength? I think pretty much this is exactly what you would be doing. That's what everybody does whenever they're on a weight loss plan. They cut out their carbs, and if you were to do that, how do you expect strength in the gym? How do you expect to lift weights? And when you don't lift weights, you're not going to grow. And if you don't eat carbs, you're not going to get the right pump. And when there is no pump, there is no mind to muscle connection. And when there is no connection, there is no growth, guys. So I always say, you can eliminate carbs whatsoever, but before workout, you got to take your carbs, guys. It's very, very important. Mohit Vasan says, can I start my PCT in 9th week of my 10 weeks cutting cycle, or 2 to 3 days of injecting my last proponent is what is mean testosterone? So first of all, Mohit, I don't endorse or promote the use of steroids. I just inform people, educate people on the use, what exactly steroids have done for different people. This is something, if you, on your question, yes, in the past I've tried it. Your question is PCT in the 9th week of my 10 week. Yes, you can start your PCT, start with about 10 mgs or 10 mgs of Nolvadex or Clomid, whichever one is available. You can get it from your chemist. It's called tamoxifen citrate. It's going to be for 20-30 rupees at a pack of about 10 to 20 or tabs. You can take that. Take it for about good 15 to 20 days. You can also take HCG. It comes in 1,000 IU form, but you can take 250 mgs every second to third day, which will also help you wash out all your toxins, and also it's going to bring your testosterone level to normal levels, which is very, very important. Now, this question has come to me from Digvijay. He says, hello sir, I'm quite skinny. I joined the gym. My trainer asked me to do more reps than to increase the load. Is it right? So, as a skinny guy, Digvijay, which means you're an ectomorph, you typically have to do, for you, less is more. You don't have to train every day like an endomorph or a mesomorph because of different body types. You really have to train 3 days a week. And again, I've done a different video on it. So how does that work? Once, what you really have to do is, pick up your body split, whichever split, let's say back, bicep, chest, tricep, shoulders, and legs. Pick up that and do 3 to 4 sets of these, but with lesser repetition. You can't be doing heavy repetition. Plus, I really don't understand why trainers say heavy repetition, especially for a guy, who's skinny. First, you really need to get if you're new to the gym, because you said you joined the gym, maybe the trainer is trying to get you into that range of motion, to correct your range of motion, and probably once that happens, he'll put you on a plan which is more of strength based. So I would suggest you do this for a while and then see how that goes. If it doesn't work out, hey, I'm always there to help you. Now I've got some more questions, guys. So Twitter, I'm going to go to on my Facebook. So Facebook is flooding, guys. It's flooding. Let me pick up my first couple of questions. This question says, from Lawson Machado. Oh, I like that name. Lawson says, my question is, will dumbbell side bends for obliques make the waist growth thicker? Yes, it does. Just imagine your obliques are structured in an arc manner. And when you do your side bends, you're actually making your waist growth thicker. So I always recommend, don't do side bends. Instead, do some twisting. But most of the people you'll find across the globe do side bends, which is absolutely okay. That's why if you see most of the bodybuilders back in the days had heavier or thicker sides. Now they don't, because they've realized it. Most of them have even stopped doing it. What you may want to do is you want to do some twisting with the rod, or you may also want to do for obliques is usually the area it will start showing itself if you have lower body fat percentage. But twisting is one best exercise that you can do. Plus with cable punches, again the same thing, but not from the bottom, from the top. You can do the carpenter flies. It's going to be amazing. So my recommendation to you on dumbbell side bends, yes, they will make your waist grow thicker. So avoid it. I'm going to pull up some questions on again on my So yes, he says. This question has come to me on my messenger inbox from Rakshit. He says, "Sir, I'm 16 and a martial artist. I have a growing interest in bodybuilding. I have a question. Could you help me regarding squatting heavy or deadlifts? Because I believe it will stunt my growth. Is there any alternative for those exercises? Should I even perform them?" Rakshit, I really don't know how tall are you, but this is the biggest myth. Yeah, you should that weight training stunts your growth. Actually it doesn't, and I've done different videos, multiple videos on it. What you do to do squatting or deadlifts, I would suggest, my request, if you don't want to compromise on your height, you can do it, but don't go heavy. Squatting, even though it's important for you to get the movement right at this early age, if you're a martial artist, it will also help you with your sport. Deadlifts also, again, don't go too heavy, go light weights. Light weights won't have any effect on your height, but don't do too heavy at this age, because chances of it's also psychologically that will stop your growth, but you don't have to do that, because height is also genetic based. If your family, if your forefathers are tall, you're bound to get taller too, so it should not have any effect on you. But my suggestion is you can do it, but again, go light weights, don't do heavy weights for this. Now, Kaushik Savla, I don't know why I get this question a lot from people. He said, functional training versus bodybuilding for strength. Functional guy says, don't just pump and sculpt the muscle, have strength. Guys, this is a very standard question, and this is the question that I get from almost everybody. Functional training versus bodybuilding, and they're both different forms of training. You really, and they both have a different purpose. If you ask a functional guy, who does a lot of functional training, for him or her, bodybuilding is a waste of time. And if you ask a bodybuilder about functional training, he or she would feel the same. So both are different sport, but what you can do is, if your goal is aesthetics, you probably have to do strength training, because at some level, functional training, you will not know how to add resistance. If you don't have any resistance, which means overload progression, you will not be able to grow. And if you were to try out different things with your body to add some resistance, chances of you injuring yourself are also a lot higher. So my recommendation to you is, if your goal is aesthetics, do functional training once a week. And if your goal is functional, which is you want to make, it's more sport based and stuff, you can have functional workouts and do, again, bodybuilding once or twice a week. That's entirely up to you. He says, and this is a question, again, standard from everybody, is Lazar Angelov natural? Can one achieve such a ripped body with hard work? Guys, I've done a different video on it. I don't know if you had the chance to it. It's called ripped fitness models and their bodies. You got to see that video. You will get your answer there. Guys, understand. I'm not going to be kind of questioning Lazar Angelov, Sergi Constant, Steve Cook, or Jeff Seeds of the world. But remember, these are the bodies which are very difficult to get naturally. And these guys have started training at a very, very young age. Remember the last question that I picked up from this guy? He said, I'm 16. I don't know should I start squatting? By the time these guys were 16, they were actually competing. So you can imagine the amount of hard work that they've put in, the amount of level of commitment that they have. Are they natural? Maybe. I believe they're not. I believe most of the fitness models, they can't be natural. They can't be natty. It's something you have to put in to get such results. So can you get a body like that naturally? Maybe, maybe not. To get to a level of a Lazar Angelov naturally, I don't think so. I really don't think so, unless you're blessed with great genetics, some substance that you have to put some drugs there. That's exactly my honest take, guys. I don't think so you can obtain it naturally, unless you're really, really dedicated with great, great, great genetics. Like Ulysses, he says he's very natural. Now, this is another question that, again, so Kaushik is again asking me a question that a decade of research supposed that eating fat doesn't make you fat. What do you think? And I've done a different video again, Kaushik, on this. Eating fat will not make you fat, it'll actually make you lose weight. For a simple fact that, dietary fat, which is the source of fat, like omega-3s, omega-6, are known to help you with your fat loss. That's why we take fish oil. That's why if you were to compare fish with chicken, fish actually has a great effect on thinning your skin, and plus it is high on omega-3s and omega-6. So fat, eating dietary fats is actually good for you, especially peanuts, peanut butter. These things, and that's the basis of a keto diet, which is exactly what you will see in my 4-week plan. Keto diet or South Beach diet or Atkins diet, they kind of preach people on the use of lesser carbs, more fat, and more proteins, and it actually does work. Now, next question I'm going to pick it up is from Mayank. He says, I'm 19 years, age 83, I'm 19 years, weight 83, almost 6 feet, pure vegetarians, and I'm trying to avoid supplements. Hey, that's a good decision. A supplement is entirely a personal choice. Decide if you really have to. If you don't have to, that's also fine. I'm a vegetarian, do not take supplements. How to reduce my body fat percentage? How to do cardio for the same? Now, if you're trying to reduce your body fat through vegetarian sources, probably it's the age where you will melt fat like this. So the best way to melt your fat is you have to first start strength training. Cardio is not the only way to burn fat, guys. I've told you this in the past, and I'm going to share this with you again. There are many other ways to burn fat. What happens is when you do cardio for longer extended period of time, your skin tries to get loosen out. And I've seen a lot of people who claim and boast, hey, we lost so much of weight. This is the transform me. I don't actually respect that transformation, because losing weight is the easiest. You starve yourself and you lose weight. The toughest challenge for any transform body is to have a regular body and get into a more muscular, more functional, wherein aesthetically you look good, you don't have loose skin. That's a transform body. So if you want that kind of a body, you have to do strength training. It's okay if you don't invest in supplement. So have a good strength training split. I keep doing such videos, on what to have a split. Probably you can refer back to such videos. It'll give you some answers. This question has come to me from Rakshit. He says, oh, it's the same. I just answered that question. The martial artist guy. Well, he's just thanking me for that. Another question. I'm just browsing through easy questions guys so that you get an answer to. He said, this comes from Deepak Gupta. He says, hello, sir. I'm planning to take capsules to get leaner and muscular. Is it safe to take capsules or not? And if not, what problem will occur while taking capsules? Actually, I'm taking this due to my low budget. Please answer. Deepak, why would you want to invest? You haven't even talked about what kind of capsules you will be taking. You haven't mentioned the brand. You haven't mentioned any substance that will have in this capsule. So you have to tell me about it before I actually recommend it. You don't just put anything into your body. Just somebody recommends you just because it's cheaper, because it says your budget is low. Don't do that. You really need to invest and do your research before you put anything into your body. It applies to steroids, it applies to drugs, it applies to food, it applies to supplements, anything and everything, guys. Do your friggin' research before doing that. And my recommendation to you is do not do it till the time you're sure what you're getting into. So don't take it till the time you know what it is. Now, next question. Okay, Uday says, for a fat guy, which is the best way to get lean, muscle, and look lean? I mean, what supplements are to be taken? How much time you have to spend on cardio? Should he lift heavy or lightweight to get lean body? Uday, it's a very good question, and I've done a different video on it. How fat guys can pack on muscle. You gotta see that video. But in this session, I will still help you with some of the things that you can do. For a fat guy, the best way to get lean is, again, it has to be a blended approach of both weight training and cardio. When I say cardio, I don't expect you to run on a treadmill depending on how much weight you have, because if you're extremely fat or overweight, running on a treadmill can actually screw up your knees because your legs won't be able to take that much load. So what you may want to do is, probably cycle or do a cross trainer, something like that, basics, and then start with 10 to 15 minutes, and then do a good high repetition base, so that you get a good rhythm, get a good range of motion, and you start losing weight slowly and steadily. once you bring your body to 20%, from there onwards you can decide, how I want to take this journey forward. Now you can think of packing on muscle, because right now if you're really fat, you lifting heavy will not be of any use, because you'll only injure yourself. And obviously, because there's so much of layer of fat covering your body, you packing on muscle won't even show. So after about 20% body fat, you can again increase the intensity of your training, which means you can start increasing the weights and start decreasing the repetition. Start doing about 10 to 12 repetition, because that's ideal for hypertrophy. So get into that mode, and then you can probably minimize carbs once your intensity level goes up. So these are some of the ways to get leaner for fat guys. And the supplements I recommend, don't think about supplements. There are no miracle supplement, but the best supplements, and I've done different videos on it, for you to take as part of your packing on muscle journey, best is whey protein, which is specifically after your training, after your strength training. I really don't recommend fat burner. If you really want to, probably you can go with a very mild L-carnitine liquid, because don't take any fat burners, because you being fat, I don't know, you could be obese or whatever, chances of you having a high cholesterol also high. You putting a fat burner there is only inviting trouble for your heart. So don't burn it there. Go with L-carnitine and some whey protein, and you're good to go. Hope this answers your question. Now, this question is from Aditya Ghai. He says, I'm 5 feet 8 inches and my current weight is 80 kgs. I got body fat tested around 20%. 20% is decent for a guy. I've been bulking since January. I had initially planned to bulk till November to get rid of my skinny fat look. The idea behind it was too simple. I gained some muscle to make my loose skin harder, and then I cut after November. However, I'm starting to get uncomfortable, so that's when I decided to get my body fat tested. What do you think? Should I cut down to 12 to 13% before attempting to bulk again, or should I continue bulking till November? See, Aditya, you're confused. Let me tell you something about bulking and cutting. Bulking, but your diet manipulation. When I say diet manipulation, it's your carb manipulation. So anytime you do bulking, remember you have to do clean bulking. Any kind of fat that you will have in your diet or on your body, remember, in your cutting phase, you have to get rid of that fat. So the lesser fat you accumulate in your bulking phase, the easier for you to get cut up. But what people do is, because they want to get bulkier, they want to, look heavier and have, so that they should look good in their t-shirts. They do this dirty bulking, and it gets to a point wherein your body fat really, really rises, and you can't escalate, and you can't really get down to normal limits. Now to your question, I think what you should do is, this is an ideal approach for anybody who wants to do bulking and cutting. This is my recommendation. For 8 weeks, do your bulking. When I say bulking, clean bulking, add 2 extra carb meal. So and then try to get your weight up. Or muscle up, and after 8 weeks, do like a 4 weeks of cutting. Just try to get rid of that water weight, and again go back on your 8 weeks of bulking. So what will happen is, by the time November comes, you will also have gained a decent amount of muscle mass, and also you will not have had any water weight, which means it'll be easier for you when you do full-fledged cutting. You will not lose too much of muscle mass. So that's exactly the ideal approach. 4 weeks on of bulk, 8 weeks of bulking and 4 weeks of cutting. 8 weeks of bulking and 4 weeks of cutting is nothing but reducing those 2 carb meals and probably adding a session or 2 of cardio, which is your cycling and stuff. There is nothing to it. So think about it. It's as simple as you can make it to be, and as complicated as you would again make it to be. It's all in your hands. Let me go to my Twitter handle. Some more questions coming there. Ramachandran says, he says, hi Tarun, last week I bought amino juice from Animal Product. Is it good? I get a fat very easily when I stop animal cuts. Ramachandran, remember, any fat burner will not make you lose weight. If you're thinking you're not taking fat burner is making you gain weight, it's not. Actually, it's psychological, and also your diet. So as far as my question goes, as far as your question goes, to not have animal cuts or to have animal cuts, why do you want to be dependent on any fat burner for that matter? Don't be. I would say amino juice will not be of any. If you bought amino juice to get rid of that fat, no, it's a wrong product. Supplements don't make you lose weight. Amino products is nothing but help you with some energy and recovery. So it's not going to help you with fat loss. The only thing that will help you with fat loss is your diet. Focus on clean diet. That is also going to be. It's going to help you with your fat loss. No animal cuts, no other product. Remember that. Something that needs to get into everybody's head. I'm trying to. Then this. He says, Ritak Garate says, duration for bulking, fat percentage to start bulking. I'm an endomorph, training split while bulking. So Ritak, I just answered the question, but again, this is a little different question. If you're like the question that the person asked me earlier, he was an ectomorph, you're an endomorph. I suggest endomorph should never do bulking. Me being an endomorph, I can tell you that for a fact that we have a tendency to put on weight very, very easily. And remember, if you were to put on too much of weight in your bulking, you will not be comfortable with your body. I'm telling you that for a fact because it happened with me. So what you really want to do, if your body fat percentage at 14% or 15%, that's you're already at a stage where you can do whatever with your body. So at about 14, 15, you're not getting ready for a contest or you're not getting ready for a photo shoot. You want to be at a body fat percentage which you can maintain all through the year. What you may want to do is, as I said, 8 weeks of cutting, 8 weeks of bulking, clean bulking, just 2-3 extra meals of carbs and 4 weeks of cutting, which it just means that you're not you're just removing those carbs and adding some cardio. But as an endomorph, please do not try to bulk those dirty bulking that I see people doing it. Then says Rishi Anand. He said, to get rid of fat with correct food, lost 4 kgs fat in 1 month. Should I continue having peanut butter? Rishi, peanut butter is actually good for you, but what the problem with us is that whenever we are being told that this something is good, we start having it more in extremes, and peanut butter in extremes, it's loaded with fat, a good fat, but anything in extreme will make you gain weight. So I would say if you're trying to lose weight, just have about 1 tablespoon of butter that probably on your roll it up on your brown bread slices, and just have that before your workout, and that's about it. Do not get too much into it because too much of it will make you put on it, because at the end of the day it's butter, so you have to be a little cognizant of that. Rakshit says, how to deal with insomnia and overthinking at night about training. Rakshit, looking at your profile, big buddy, I think you're a fairly young guy. I don't know what insomnia. My only suggestion to you is stay away from WhatsApp. Don't get obsessed with your girlfriend. Give her some space. Give her some space in a relationship. That's the only way you can overthink. That is the only reason at this age you would have insomnia. So on a serious note, if you really want to have a sound sleep, first thing you really need to do is eat 2 hours before your sleep, and then turn the lights off. 1 night, 2 nights, you will have issues. Do not have any access to your phone. Do not watch television, nothing. It sounds very cliche, but it definitely works. This is something that you have to be really, really particular about. Turning off the TV, turning off everything, any association or contact with technology. That's the only way you're going to get over this insomnia. And you're a young guy, man. Why do you have to think too much about your girlfriend? Why do you have to think too much about your people, man? Just enjoy. Like, oh, look at those gains, man. I am making those gains. Yeah. Aurangzeb. Oh, man, is that a name? Aurangzeb, huh? I like that name. Aurangzeb Jamshed, he says, are free weights better or machines? I see a lot of modern gyms putting more emphasis on machines but lack free weights. Aurangzeb, I've done a different video. I have a separate video for this. But it's just, one of those trends. These days the trend is to have machines. And remember, free weights will never go out of fashion. They never had, they never will. But it's just that machines add a little more variation. Somebody who's starting out and somebody who's new to training can actually start a machine because it's more balanced. You don't have to balance yourself. Machine does it for you. So you really have to don't worry too much about that. But yes, even for an intermediate or an advanced user, you can use a machine for a simple fact. It's going to add variation to your workout, which is going to be good for you, because at the end of the day, it's about shock therapy. I keep talking about, the more you shock your body, the more you're going to grow. Okay, I hope this answers Aurangzeb. Man, I like your name, huh? KJ. KJ says, hi, Tarun, a wider waistline naturally. They don't have love handles but can reduce waist. Yes, you're right, KJ. A lot of people have thick waist. It's generic. It doesn't mean that they're fat. It just means that you're big boned. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to live with it. You cannot shrink it. It's just that, if you're born with wider shoulders, can you do something about it? Probably not. Remember, anything that you're going to go against your genetics, you will be able to achieve the result by putting yourself through extreme measures. But after some time, you will not be able to put up with it and you'll give up. And after that, when you give, what will happen? To natural state. So why to go through that, tension and stress? So live with it. You're not fat. It's just that genetically you have big, thick waist. Muhammad Akbar, as I think I should do a video on Ramadan. I'm getting a lot of questions from all my Muslim friends that Ramadan is coming next month. Can you have a Asal Mas in that period, guys? But if you're religious, it's like having you're fasting and you're wondering about how do I lift weight. You don't have to worry about it, but still I do a video to kind of give some perspective on it. Yes, so he's asking me Akbar. So one question was from Aurangzeb. This question is from Akbar. I don't know, guys, if this is your real names, man. It's kind of giving me different ideas. He says, which workout should I do for reducing my belly fat? Again, standard question. There is no spot reduction. Then you will not be able to reduce belly fat just like that. You will have to minimize your body fat. I've done different videos on it, and then Akbar, you have to see those videos. Let me just pull up some questions from my Instagram, guys. Now, Instagram. So I put up my transformation photograph. I will be ending my transformation in about 2 weeks. So probably the last video I did, I got a couple of comments on it that looking good stuff. Guys, I don't I don't want a body which is extremely ripped, because I know if I were to get a ripped body, I won't be able to maintain it. Nobody will be able to maintain it. I know some people can, but I want to do something which I can maintain. I don't have to struggle with it. That's the reason I will have a bit of water. I will have some bit of stuff, but again, very, very aesthetic. It's something that I'm gunning for. So I put up a picture there, and I got some questions from people. When will I be uploading my full transformation plan? This guy Sumit Nagpal says I will be doing that. I will be releasing my free ebook next week, which will be coming out. So hang on, you will get an answer there. Hemant Sora put up a very good question there. He says in Punjab, every month a bodybuilder die of a heart attack. This comment is nowhere related to your picture, but asking you to tell your followers, do not take Indian steroids. They are lethal. They can save someone's life. Indian steroids, I really don't know where to get these Indian steroids. I never heard, but yes, there's so much of duplicacy in steroids as well, as I talked about in supplements. Yes, but if you were to ask me as my experience with steroids historically hasn't killed people. What is a use of diuretics, whatever you want to call it, something which flushes out water from your body. Most of the bodybuilders have died of that. Not a single person has died of using growth hormone. Not a single person has died of using. But the media had an issue around the person and his use of drug abuse and stuff. There's definitely, I'm not saying they're safer to use. They're definitely no means safer to use. But you should know what you're doing. And I am, my half is from Punjab, because, my father's side is from Punjab. And I exactly know where you're coming from. Yes, people in Punjab, they do anywhere. If you don't know what you're doing, and you try out any drug for that matter, even if you try aspirin for long, your chances of you killing yourself are also a lot higher, not just steroids. So yes, this is my message to all of you guys, that stay away from something which you don't know. Like the guy that I was addressing this question, that he just bought some capsules without knowing what they are, weight loss capsule. You should know what you're taking, because something that you're putting in your body, you should be aware. And now that you have internet, this will answer your questions. You can ask me, guys, and I'm here to help you. So don't just pick up anything and put it in your body. It could be lethal. Some more question, guys. He says, Mr. Sagar He said, thanks a lot, sir, for all videos. Please give tips for legs fat. I have a lot of it. I know we can't reduce fat from one area, but some tips to improve any of chances change in exercise will help. I believe you're Mr. Sagar. So Mr. Sagar, let me tell you something. A guy with two should never look at losing as far as body fat goes. Number one is your shoulder. The bigger, the broader the shoulder, the look good. Number two is your legs, because the bigger legs you'll have, the better you look. So what you may want to do is, instead of reducing body fat from there, you may want to tone up those legs, because bigger legs looks really, really good on guys. And we Indian men are not, are good, maybe good, some of us are, but with our lower body guys, and it happens, I'm one of them. I have no excuse, with my injury, whatever. My legs are not as strong as my upper body. I have no qualms in admitting it. So you may want to hold on to it and take them to the next level by following them. That will really, really, really help you. Why do you want to get rid of fat from your legs, man? Give me that fat. That's so good. Yeah, I like that. Some more questions on my Instagram. He says, this question is Harsh. He says, hi Tarun, hope you're doing great. I'm currently 84 kgs and lost 26 kilos. Awesome, man. Can I use animal cuts with creatine to reach my goal of 75 to 78 kilos with good diet, running, cardio in the morning? Let me tell you something, Harsh. You can get to your goal without actually using animal cuts. So if you've lost 26 kilos, I'm sure you can lose more kgs too without any supplements. Stay away, man. If you can get it, actually, why do you want to get it to something? So, man, I'm tired. So this was a 1 hour long Q&A session. I hope you enjoyed. I hope, you continue to kind of, log in, every Sunday when we do these sessions. Any one of you who have any questions, feel free to log in, and do hashtag Ask Tarun Gill. I'll be very happy to help you with your questions. Any one of you who wants to have more detailed question, you can put it on my Facebook account. You can also share your number. I've started this whole WhatsApp channel. I've added about 200 odd people. I'm slowly initiating it and taking to another level, because whenever somebody posts a question, people get notifications. Some people get irritated. So I have some guidelines there, where we, like a session we have right now here, we on WhatsApp, where we talk for about an hour, where you put up your question and I answer them. I also usually do Skype calls, 1 or 2 Skype calls a day with people who have some extreme questions, who wants to see me and talk to me. I do that as well. So any one of you, I'm always there to help you guys. I'm just here with a single-minded agenda to not whatever happened with me, there was nobody to help me. I'm here to help you. So I hope this session was useful to you. Any one of you, who is get benefited, please do let anyone who have any questions around this. Feel free to reach out to me either on my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Twitter. I'm there everywhere, active everywhere, even on my Skype now. I'll be very happy to help you. So as I always say, until we meet again, peace.